What's up, everybody? Welcome to Super Retro, a nostalgic podcast about retro gaming, TV and film, pop culture, anything dope from the 80s and 90s. I'm your host, Tuck. That's your host, Will. Thank you for joining us. So good to have you guys. What's up, Will?
What up, man? We're back.
We're back. We're ready to get going. And if you haven't noticed, peep the shirt.
Check
the shirt. Super Retro shirts. Boom. How dope are these? Come on now.
Best early Christmas present we've got.
Yeah, so my wife just brought these down here before we started. She had a box that was wrapped, and she said, open these up.
She just poked her head around the corner.
So we opened them up. Lo and behold, Super Retro shirts, which we had already had plans for getting some shirts, but that was going to be next month.
Me and Tuck are so bad about planning stuff that she done beat us.
Yeah, she beat us to
weeks out.
And we hadn't even talked to her about it.
Weeks out.
So we're going to be figuring out ways to give some of these away. Obviously, we're going to sell some of them because I don't even know how many we have. I mean, it looks like we have about 30 or 40 of them for sure. This will be our first official Super Retro T-shirt. And no, just T-shirt run. Be looking for that soon. I'm not really sure what we're going to do or how we're going to do it, but you can get your hands on them if you try hard enough.
Yeah.
We'll be posting links and all that shit. I just haven't even thought about it yet.
If you really want one, this is the time to email us or hit us up.
For sure. But yeah, man, it's been going good. TikTok still popping. We took some follower suggestions, and we'll read some of those at the end of the podcast and just kind of go off top of the head with some of it, you know.
Yeah. I like how when they'll have suggestions or comments of our videos and it's stuff that didn't make the cut, you know what I mean? Like,
that we
talked about in the actual podcast.
Yeah.
And they'll say the stuff that we cut out.
Yeah, or they'll say,
we talked about that.
Yeah, or they'll say stuff that have been in our notes for a while.
Oh yeah.
That haven't, you know, because we make a note, we share this note on our phones of each upcoming show, you know, and like I'll transfer stuff from the old one that didn't make it to the new list and just keep doing it. And I saw a few of those.
Yeah, but the community, like I feel like it's a retro community now.
Yeah, man.
Because it's such a cool group of people.
Wait a second, I forgot to hit play on the movie. All right, and we're back. Sorry about that. We got a dope movie playing in the back. We don't like to tell you what it is because it's fun to see people.
Oh, you'll just read the comments.
Yeah.
On every short that comes out.
Yeah, somebody will know pretty soon.
Yeah, early on.
Pretty early on, yeah. So the topics we have today, you know, are kind of not as popular as some of the ones we've had in the past, you know.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah, no. And this is what I like. I like these type.
We can't go bangers all the time.
That's right. But I think these at the end of the day will be more bangers than the popular ones, because when you're talking about popular stuff, everyone knows about it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Everyone knows about it. You know, it's too popular, you know, and so everyone knows about it. There's not a whole lot of interest, but some of the topics we have today are kind of in that vein of kids.
Yeah.
You know, the kids' movie.
Because that wasn't a very popular movie.
Right. I mean,
but somehow everyone saw it.
In a subculture, it was. You know?
Everyone saw it somehow.
But what I wanted to start with today, I think about this all the time. I think about top 5 lists when it comes to NES, you know, different lists.
I love a good list.
I know, beat 'em up games, or, you know, the best top 5 Mario games on Nintendo period, or, you know, top 5 fighter games. I don't know. You know, it's top 5 sports games, top 5 football games. I think about this shit all the time.
Me too. List. I think Nintendo is what got me in the list because of the Nintendo Power.
Because of the list.
That's got to be a topic on itself.
It keeps making its way onto the list.
Like that.
We'll get to that for sure.
I would go to that back page all the time.
Me too. And there was so much. Like the whole back section, like the last 5 or 6 pages were lists.
It was just bangers.
It was lists.
Yeah, it was like coming soon type shit. Like all the juicy stuff was at the back.
That's right. That's where you got the information that kept you going.
I love Nintendo Power.
What I wanted to start with, you know, and I'm always, since we collect Nintendo game, you know, NES games and Super Nintendo games and all these games we collect, I'm always looking at the most expensive and rarest games. It's just something you see when you're collecting. Yeah. You just know it's out there.
We collect Nintendo NES, original NES games pretty hard.
Yeah.
So when we were first started, we looked deep into what can't we get?
That's right. So there's a few of them out there that, sadly to say, we'll never get our hands on.
There's not a chance.
So what I want to do is top 5 most rare and expensive NES games. Let's get started. So here is the rarest and most expensive Nintendo NES game. It's the 1990 Nintendo World Championship Gold cartridge. This thing sells for about $100,000.
You heard that right.
There's been transactions on eBay, and this was a few years ago, of $100,000 on this game. Let me tell you why it's so expensive. The actual game is a timed compilation of 3 titles: Super Mario Bros., Rad Racer, and Tetris, each adjusted for the tournament and containing a unique scoring system. The 1990 Nintendo World Championships Gold Edition was the contest prize in one of Nintendo Power's monthly promotions. One grand prize winner and 25 equally as fortunate runner-ups were each sent a single copy, which makes only 26 copies in the wild.
I've seen one.
Oh, I've seen
Not
it too.
in the wild, but
definitely not in the wild.
These are one of those things where I was like, I don't know if I told you, but like I was like, what if we go to a yard sale?
I know. Will has this idea, but there's some other stuff in here that I'm going to read in a minute that almost gives validity to the way you feel.
Yeah.
But Will thinks that we're going to go out to a yard sale and find one of these. It's happened, though. That's why.
Be like, I'll take $15.
Yeah, some old lady with her sons, her 45-year-old son's NES collection.
And he was one of them.
And he had one of them and just forgot about it.
Because they haven't all turned up.
No, they haven't.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
Someone's got a box.
They rarely have turned up.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, let's get right into number 2. So number 2, same situation, the 1990 Nintendo World Championships, but it's the gray cartridge.
The gray edition. That's the one they used at the...
That's the one they used at the actual Nintendo World Championships. There's about 90 of them to finalists and stuff like that, and they are the same way. They have little markers on them. You can switch over little switches, and it changes the times and the game and stuff like that, which would be so dope to just see.
It'd be cool to have, man.
Essentially the same story behind them as the gold cartridge mentioned above, but the more common gray cartridges were the ones actually used in the tournaments and then given to each of the finalists. The gray carts had a print run of 90. What is rather interesting about these cartridges is the fact that only about half of the cartridges have reportedly surfaced. So there are still more out there hidden in somebody's closet, garage sale, or flea market. Even though these are cartridge-only releases, condition can be a large factor.
Let's go yard sailing this weekend.
So, bro, can you imagine? Only half of them have ever turned up. So,
oh my God. Do you imagine seeing it and just knowing what it is?
At a garage, dude, you hit a garage sale and this thing pops up. I'd shit on myself right there in front of them.
I'd
hide it.
I'd tell them 50 more than they ever,
See, you don't want to do that, though.
I know, then they
because
know
that's
they got
what happened.
something.
Look, when I bought that up there, that Nintendo box, the lady started getting on to me. She's like, I bought it from an old lady. She's like, well, why would anybody pay that much for a box?
She was like, $20. You're like, 50?
It was, I forgot what the price was, but when I said it, I was like, she goes, hey, now it's in really good shape. I was like, lady, I really only care about this box. She's like, why would anyone care about a box? And I said, oh, you'd be surprised.
Right.
And she's like, oh, really? What do you mean? So how much is it? I was like, it's
don't
worth
look
what
on
you're
eBay.
I was like, it's worth what you're asking. It's all good. So number 3, the 1991 Nintendo Campus Challenge. This one's worth about $13 to $21K. The 1991 Nintendo Campus cartridge was created by Nintendo for a video game competition like the Nintendo World Championships that were held in 1990. But this one was a college world tour where they went all around to all these colleges and played, or like a spring break hotspot. The cartridges had 3 games on them: Super Mario 3, Pinbot, and Dr. Mario, and a time limit of about 6 minutes. Players attempted to get the most points on all 3 games in the allotted time. After the event, all the games were destroyed, but one was found at an ex-Nintendo's employee garage sale in 2006. Up until 2006, it was hard to pin down a value for the cartridge, as it never really surfaced on the marketplace. That year, the cartridge was sold privately for $14,000 and then resold for $20,000 on eBay.
And that's one?
That's one. So why isn't that? Maybe because it's not. It was a college. It doesn't have the same.
No, that gold
feel.
Stuff, bro. That gold
doesn't have the same feel as the 1990 championships, even though it's like the only one that's popped up.
I didn't even know that.
So there's only one out there. I mean,
I didn't know about the 91 college tour. That's cool. I was wondering what the games were.
Yeah, I didn't either until I
That's
started.
cool that it's Pinbot and Dr. Mario and Mario.
Isn't that cool? Now, number 4, we get to the actual first game that was released to the market.
Actual game.
The actual game. But here's the thing. Only about 200 of them were released to market. We're talking about Bandai Stadium events.
That's a grail.
This is the holy grail of actual Nintendo games because of what I just mentioned. There were only about 200 of them released in the northeast of America at a department store up there. I can't remember the name of it. And it was recalled by Nintendo because they had just purchased the rights from Bandai to sell it here in America. So they wanted to put the Nintendo stamp and seal on it. With the Power Pad, right? With the Power Pad as well.
It was called something else.
It was called the Family Fun Fitness or something. I can't really remember. But so before it was recalled, like I said, there was 200 of them out. Before it was recalled, only a few of them sold.
Yep.
So the rest of them were sent back. So out of those 200, only like 11 of them have ever popped up.
Yep.
And some of them are actually in the case, in the packaging.
That one guy had a complete CIB.
Yeah, in the box. So there's only a few of them out there. This is why that one is so expensive. It was recalled. That only sold for like, I think I read something they were only sold for like 3 days.
Yeah.
And so whatever sold at these couple department stores in a 3-day time span, that's what was sold.
In that region.
So Nintendo recalled it and then re-released it as like World Class Track Meet or something. They re-released the same exact game. So
yeah, we have that game.
Yeah, we have that.
That's worth nothing.
So that one, if you have it sealed, about $42,000.
Yeah,
about $42,000. But I think I've seen them that are graded for like $150,000. Like crazy numbers.
The people who have those are the people who have every game.
That's right.
Like to complete their collection.
That's right. And then number 5 on the list of most rare and expensive NES games is the first actual non-recalled game. So this is the first game that was released and just released and is the number 5 most rare game, Little Samson. This one goes for about the cartridge. If you have the cartridge, it goes for about $1,500 to $2,000 just for the cartridge.
That's the one we think we can get.
Yeah, that's the one we got our eyeballs on. We're going to go ahead and accept we're never going to have a stadium event.
Nah.
But Little Samson?
We got to touch one.
Maybe one day. We saw one the other day.
We got to touch one a couple weeks ago.
Shout out to Matt from Rad Retro Bros. We saw it.
We got to touch it.
We saw it. Yeah, it was there. I'd grabbed it too. Didn't even ask him.
Tuck stopped the whole damn video. It was like, hold on.
Straight up. Yeah, so Little Samson, it's super valuable because it was released at the end, which a lot of rare games are. It was released at the end of the NES run.
That's why I never played it or even it didn't pop up on my radar.
Right, and like
I was already on the next system. Like a lot of these old games, like they're the old, not old, but like newer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The ones at the very end of the Nintendo run.
Yep.
Who played those?
That's right, and it didn't have any marketing behind it because the developers were also making games for Super Nintendo. So it kind of got finished late, and they didn't put any real money into it, but it turns out the game is really, really good.
Yeah.
The game is really good. People
Every list
love
I see,
the
it's
game.
in the top.
People love the game. It didn't hit the mass market like that.
Yep.
So that's why that one's so rare and expensive.
Little Samson.
One day we will get our hands
Little
on
Samson.
it. So there's your top 5 most rare and expensive games. TNC Surf Designs Wood and Water Rage.
I mean, I'd say it's one of the most not popular, but you see it everywhere.
This game is everywhere. I would say it's one of the most popular games that everyone, pre-90s remembers.
Everyone played that game.
Everybody.
You rented it, or if you didn't have it, you rented the fuck out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that logo, is awesome.
I've seen this resurfacing. I've seen shirts
that is a good
that look
shirt.
like this.
Yeah. Look at the colors. It's just pops. You know what I mean?
This is one of those games where the cover really sold the game.
100%.
I saw that and was like, well, that looks badass.
I don't even know what that is, but I wanted it.
There's a gorilla riding a surfboard. There is a tiki man riding a skateboard.
Yeah, I mean, dude.
And then just some random ass dude riding a skateboard with a bunch of water splashing on him. Yeah, sold it completely.
Like it hit that surf skate just
and I didn't even know that I liked that. You know what I'm saying? Like the surfing and
not at all.
But here's the thing. It was released in February of 1988. And again, that cover is just beautiful. You can't argue with that. And Nintendo is infamous for having amazing covers. And this is definitely in there. We should do a top 5 cover list.
That's a real good idea.
We should do a top 5 NES cover list. And did you know this? The game, how would you ever know this if you weren't a surfer? I bet a lot of surfers out here would be like, man, we knew that shit. The game shares its name with the famous surfboard manufacturer Town and Country Surf Designs. And that's what TNC stands for, Town and Country Surf Design. And features the company's mascot characters known as the Boys.
Didn't know that.
Yep. You got Tiki Man, Cool Cat, Joe Cool, or Thriller Gorilla. You know what I'm saying?
Never knew.
Didn't know any of this. And I got something at the end that I had no idea that we'll talk about.
What's cool is I didn't know any of that, and it still worked for me.
That's right.
Like
you didn't need to know
that
this.
Marketing they worked so hard on. Didn't even care.
Yep.
Like I thought it was cool without that.
100%. Now let's talk about. So the first event, the first event was the street skate session.
That was my jam.
That is what I think of when I think about this game.
Me too.
I think of the skating. I think of the obstacles.
Yeah.
I think of the ramps. And you know what else? That I was playing it earlier. Kept falling in them holes, boy.
Bro,
where do you go?
And the slide when you wreck.
Yeah.
Like face first, plant on the concrete.
Yeah.
I felt that.
You can get rolling on that skateboard too.
Like, yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's when it's good. That's when you get rolling on the skateboard and you start jumping. Oh, it's
fun.
amazing. But it was weird. Couple months ago when I was playing it, my depth perception was all off. Like I couldn't tell. Remember that?
Yep.
I couldn't tell where the obstacles were. Well, today when I played it, I had zero problem.
No, I ripped it. I just ripped. I got to level 7 just now. I was ripping it.
You sure were. And then we got to talk about maybe one of the hardest challenges on any NES game.
Fuck that surfing.
That I know of. The surfing on the wave fucking sucks.
Hard as hell.
It is so hard. This is another example of NES games not giving two fucks about you or your time.
I remember being a kid and I would go to the surf stuff and I'd get like because I did it the other day. I got like a cool jump where I came up out of the water.
And we were like, oh my God.
Did a move, got a point. But I remember being a kid and just wrecking. And then just being like, fuck this, I'm going back to skate.
No, it ain't a kid. It's an adult right here that literally every time I go up the wave and then just go whoop, right into the wave. No matter what, I cannot figure it out. How does anybody surf? You know what I'm saying? How are you surfing?
There's somebody out there that rips it.
I guarantee there's somebody out there. I bet you can go to on YouTube right now and see an amazing speed run.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
We're not those dudes. We're still sucking.
We are amateur Nintendo players.
We're not going and just learning, going on YouTube just to get good at it.
But here's the thing. I really tried. Like a lot of these games, I can like keep trying over and over, and then I get pretty good at it.
We're almost like the kids back in the 88.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't know shit.
Yeah.
We're still those dudes.
A lot of the times we are.
Yeah.
But and I normally pick up on it, but I cannot get this surfing down. Shit is hard. Y'all are wrong. Whoever developed that shit, you're wrong for that shit. Here's another little fact about it. Oh, and then there's the wood and water rage, which it combines both of them. It's like you do this both. And then you do that, you do this.
Which I do that and then suck at surfing and go like, fuck.
Yep, exactly.
Just ruin my score.
Did you know there is a sequel?
Didn't.
Neither did I.
Is it TNC Surf Design 2?
Yes, pretty much. It's called TNC Surf Design Thrilla's Surfari. Thrilla's Surfari.
What year?
It came out in 92, March of 92.
That's why.
This is why.
Too late.
But here's the thing. I watched a playthrough today. It's awesome.
Is it?
It's nothing like that game. It's like he's riding a skateboard or he's on the surfboard. It almost looks like a Donkey Kong meets Crash Bandicoot before both of them. And when I say Donkey Kong, I mean Donkey Kong Country meets Crash Bandicoot.
Huh. I'll have to look it up.
Before those two.
Now
there was some really cool shit going on.
It?
I don't know. I mean, that's what I wrote on here. I literally wrote
get on
notes.
eBay, bro.
I said had no idea it existed, and now I want it. And I was reading some of the comments. A lot of people played this game. There's a lot of people on there like, oh my God, I played this game so much.
That's a long time in between a sequel.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
You know what I mean? 88 to 92.
Yeah. Yep.
For how successful that game was.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, y'all, TNC Surf Design, dope ass game. Pop this one back in. I know that there's so much nostalgia connected to this one.
100%.
Do you remember the Sega Channel?
Nope.
No, you don't know anything about it? Let me tell y'all about the Sega Channel.
You told me about it once.
The Sega Channel was way before its time. Let me tell you why. It was the first online gaming device. Okay, it was online gaming before online gaming.
Yeah.
What it was a adapter that you bought, and you plugged it into your Sega Genesis, and then you'd take your coaxial cable from your cable, and you'd put it into the back of this adapter. And there was a subscription fee that you paid that was on your cable bill. It was like $15 a month, which at the time in 1994, that was expensive.
Hell yeah.
And it gave you access to 60 games a month.
60?
60 Sega Genesis games a month, and they rotated and changed every month. Sometimes they changed bi-weekly.
How did that even exist at that time?
Dude, and here's the thing. I actually had firsthand play on one of these things. A really good friend of mine that I was living with at the time when I was like 15 to 16 years old, he had it. And he was paying the subscription.
Bro.
Here's the only thing about it. You'd had to download the game. You'd go on this menu, and they'd have it categorized, fighting games, sports games, this game, that game. And
Never seen it.
Yeah, it was cool as hell. And you would pick the game you want, and then they would have to download from the cable company. It was so weird.
So 2 weeks later?
No, it would take about 2 minutes. It would take about 2 to 3 minutes. It would download. Then you would play it, and you could play it all you wanted. But as soon as you turned it off, game was done.
You had to download it again?
You couldn't save anything. You'd have to, if you turned it back on, you download it, but there was no saving.
What a cool idea, though.
If you think about 1994, that was kind of towards the end of Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo. They were kind of on, the Nintendo 64 was about to hit, PlayStation 1 was about to hit.
Sega was such a front runner in the...
They really were, man.
Like, to have that, and then Dreamcast was so different. And...
Yeah, they had so many, they were just so far ahead. A lot of people say that all these different accessories and all these different things are right. I don't know what happened, man. I really wish I knew a really good explanation of what happened to Sega and why they failed.
Well, no, Tuck's trying to bring them back.
I'm really trying to bring them back.
Single-handedly.
But yeah, so the
Sega Channel,
the Sega Channel, dude, it was cool as hell. It had its own little logo, and the menu screen, it would change with whatever season it was or whatever. Like right now, it would be Christmas.
That's cool.
It'd be a Christmas theme, shit like that.
Shit like that is like the forefront of technology.
At the time.
Yeah.
It was out from 1994 to 1998, and they projected that within a year's time, they would have 1 million subscribers to it. But at its peak, it only had 250,000. I never knew another person that had it.
I never knew anyone.
Yeah, I never knew another person that had it. My friend just so happened to work for his dad and have a really good job working for his dad as like a Volvo technician. And he was like 17 at the time, making good money.
Bro, no
so
way
he would pay for that type of shit. He had it. He bought it for himself.
That's so cool,
He was really into that stuff. So yeah, shout out to Jimmy for exposing me to a lot of this shit that I know about.
The Sega Channel.
The Sega Channel, man.
Gleaming the Cube. To me, one of the most iconic skateboarding movies.
Yeah.
Like when you think back on movies about skateboarding, like we were talking about thrashing, but this was like the first big movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big actors, a real movie. Like it felt real.
Yeah. It felt like that's when it crossed over into the mainstream.
Yeah. Like before then you were just fucking watching like we had all these skate videos of Thrasher and stuff like that. And
it was underground.
People doing documentaries.
Shit you get at skate shops.
Yeah, like skate videos. And that's nothing. Like you very rarely did you have any story or it was just skateboarding.
Right.
Nonstop. I know like the Powell Peralta guys had like some cool little type skits and type stuff they did, which was pretty cool. But this was an actual skateboarding movie.
This
in
was
the 80s.
This was a movie at its core had skating, but this was so much more.
And it was
skating.
a good movie. It wasn't just about skating. Skating was like something they did.
Right. It was just some skater kids that went on this adventure.
Yeah, shit happened to this guy, Brian. Christian Slater killed it. And like his brother gets killed. So then Christian Slater has to go on this crazy journey to find out who killed his brother and ends up getting this gang of skaters that he rides with, and it's fucking Tony Hawk.
I love the scene when they're in the plane and they're putting stickers all over the plane.
Yes,
and
dude.
They put a Tony Hawk sticker. Yep. They're like, I want that Tony Hawk sticker.
Yeah, Tony Hawk's got a real role in it.
He really does.
Yeah, he has speaking roles and Rides around in the Pizza Hut truck I showed you earlier.
Yeah, it was so funny to see Tony Hawk as a kid. I mean, he's a legit teenager.
Oh, he's a kid.
His voice is all high still.
I've heard him. I've listened to his podcast as an adult. Like he has one, and he talks about a bunch of movies that he was in and his experience as a kid being in these movies.
Yeah.
And it was like he remembers it being so cool.
Yeah, he was also in what's the other one we were talking about? Oh, Thrashing.
Yeah, he was.
He's
They
in
all
Thrashing.
the same guys were in it.
He's skating in the pool.
All the Pal Peralta guys were in these movies. Mike McGill, like all of them. Caballero, Natas Copus, like all these dudes were in these movies. Like in that, because I mean, think about it. There was only a select few group of guys at that time that could do what these dudes did.
And the style they were doing.
Yeah, like, and these were the big, like, I'd say there's like 15, 20 big dudes back then that was killing it.
That's right.
And they were like, you want to do this movie?
Dude, they were fucking legends
bro.
already.
Oh, my God. Like, now skating's huge. And it had been huge for years.
Right.
But back then, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was like, it was fresh.
Yeah, these dudes,
these were the first real superstars.
Yep, they were the
skating.
first superstars of skating.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you ever seen the documentary called The Bones Brigade. You should watch it. It's about how the Pal Peralta boys started. It's fucking awesome.
I've heard it.
Yeah, it's really good. But like, they were all the guy. Any guy you see doing all the other actors that were doing skateboard and stuff, it was actual skaters.
Dude, the opening scene on this movie, when they're coming through the airport or the airfield, I guess you should say, it got me hyped.
Oh, bro, you wanted to go get a skateboard.
I was laying in bed. I was like, man, that shit looks fun as hell.
Yep.
They really made this shit look cool.
And there's one scene at the end where they're Tony Hawk's driving that Pizza Hut truck, and all of the homies are with him going like down a hill, and it's just slow, like, and it's got this sick music, and like they're all just like, it's like a gang rolling towards you.
That's
and
awesome.
It's another, just like that scene in the beginning, and it's like a climactic part of the movie. But like he needs their help, and they roll out to go meet him, and there's so much other cool like iconic skateboarding shit. Like the board he makes at the end. Like I thought that was the goddamn coolest skateboard I've ever seen in my life, bro. It's like all black with fucking like silver like metal rails, and like it wasn't even a real type of board, but back then it looked like something from the future.
For sure.
And then the guy that he had there had a bunker, like some cool little underground bunker. Like rich type shit that I was like, who has a bunker?
Shit.
Like just all the stuff you see back then, and like the pads, the elbow, because I was a skateboarder, pretty heavy.
Yeah, we
and
should parlay this into talking about.
Yeah, like because anytime you got some new pads or a new board or anything, like it just felt so cool, dude.
For sure.
And like going, like if you went to a skate shop and got a new board, it was probably the coolest fucking part of the year.
Easily one of the coolest experiences going into the skate shop. Not for the first time, but going to the skate shop for the first time, knowing you're going to buy a board.
Complete board.
And you have all these boards on the wall, and you're just like, oh my God, I get to pick one of these.
Everything.
I remember, as like a 11, maybe 10 or 11, my mom, for whatever it was, my birthday or whatever, she said, all right, I'll buy you a board. And it was like, oh my God.
Dude, a complete board.
Yeah.
Like, and they had the price like there. You'd be like, oh my God.
I remember the
$129.
I remember the guy sitting it up on the thing and like
you get
me
to
picking out my trucks and
what
my
trucks
wheels,
you want, like independent
bearings,
what rails you want, boom, and then like you pick the bearings, and then you like, oh, by the way, what grip tape you want, and like, oh my God, I gotta pick grip. And then you sit there and like, and then once they give you that board, like, and another thing, like, I don't know what it was, but the people there, I know this is like this for probably most people that went and bought their first skateboard. Those people were so cool. You know what I mean? Like,
hell yeah.
Even today, I get like a little anxiety when I'm dealing with people. Yeah. But back then, those people made you feel like you were a part of them.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And knowing I was probably a shitty skateboarder at that time.
Oh, the worst.
You know what I mean?
was the worst.
Yeah, I'm just some noob getting a brand new skateboard, like a Pal Peralta. You know what I mean? Like, but they made you feel like, oh, this dude's a part.
Yeah.
This dude's now in.
Yeah.
Even if I sucked.
Right. It was a kid that's going to continue the culture.
Yeah, this guy's already in. He's going to be doing what I do.
Right.
And like where I bought mine, I don't know where you bought yours, but like it had a skate park right next to it.
Yeah.
So like through this door right like there was a skate park. And you can hear dudes in there fucking doing ramps and quarter pipes. It was the best.
Like
awesome. It made you feel like, oh my God, I'm about to do some crazy shit. And then you're like, well, Dad, I need pads. I'm getting ready to go do it. But I was mostly a street skater. Like
Same.
I would be out and just anywhere doing anything, grinding, rail slides, like just tricks. But like I was going to ask you, do you remember when the first time you ever rode a skateboard on blacktop? Like when you touch that blacktop for the first time.
Like butter.
Oh my God.
It's like butter.
You're like, am I floating?
Yeah.
Like I remember back before it was like you're at the gravel, the concrete was pretty shitty.
Oh yeah.
Like you would be riding and be like,
it sucks so
like
bad.
you feel that shake the whole time you're riding. Like I gotta go real fast so I don't feel it. But you hit that fucking blacktop, you're like,
yep.
it's amazing. It's still a good feeling. Even today, I got skateboard today. Pretty cool, man. But
what's the name of the skateboard shop that was on
Home Skate Shop?
No, is it on Papa Level Road? I'm sorry, on here in Louisville, Kentucky, on Bardstown Road in the Highlands. That's set up on that hill.
Pro Quality or something.
Pro Quality skateboard. Yep. Yeah, they had a ramp behind them.
That was the one after Skateboards Unlimited.
Yeah. Yes.
And then Skateboards, I went to Pro Quality and then Home Skate Shop. So like those are the three I know. I'm sure there was more in Louisville, but the Skateboards Unlimited just started my whole like skateboarding culture.
For sure,
to
man.
Me.
I'm like a product of skateboarding and hip hop music.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like that whole blend right there.
Yep.
That's what raised me.
Yep.
Are those two things that were super prevalent in my life at all times.
Yeah, it was fun, man. I'm glad I got to grow up in that.
We got it so lucky. No one's ever going to know what it was like to grow up in the 80s. 80s skateboarding was just different.
No, yeah, and like our parents had no clue what the fuck we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, now, like if my kids wanted to skate, I'd totally understand what he was doing.
Right.
Like my dad thought I was a psychopath. Like, wait, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah, it was weird.
Like, what is this?
It's
was called
so
skateboarding.
New.
It's skateboarding. All the kids are doing it. Come home hurt.
Oh, fucked up.
Like,
I remember one time
bro.
I was going down a hill, and I had a buddy down at the bottom of the hill, you know, watching for cars, because you always had a spotter.
Yeah.
You always had a spotter. And
riding down hills was so fun.
He said clear, but I thought he said car. So I'm rolling down this hill. I put my foot down, and for whatever reason, I was going so fast, it literally flipped me. The contact.
Touch.
I flipped, fucked my whole shit up, rolled on my stomach. Remember you used to ride on your stomach on a skateboard?
100%.
I mean,
I go down hills like that. Or you could go on your back.
All my limbs were just completely destroyed.
And if you ain't felt what that concrete does to your skin, good Lord.
All right, so I want to talk about Scarface on the Tiny Desk concert. Have you caught this yet?
A little bit of it.
Bro, it is amazing. It's awesome that he's finally getting the recognition that he deserves nowadays. And if you didn't know, he's been a top 10 hip-hop artist of all time.
Like
Scarface.
I feel like he always got it to me.
To you.
Yeah, to me, like when I was growing up, he was like one of the best dudes.
Exactly. But if you look at a lot of lists, or you talk to anybody that's 35 or younger, he does not hold the same weight with them as he does with our generation.
Yeah. Like I heard someone say, it was a good quote. I can't really know exactly what they said, but they were like, they felt like he was born in a wrong era. You know what I mean by that? Like he wasn't like he's a rapper, but he's like, it's like he's from another era, and rap was just the only thing going at the time.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like he was a badass fucking poet. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, and he just had to rap because that's what was around him.
Dude, I'm telling you, the way the man's delivery, he is a poet.
Like that's what I'm saying. It's not like
he's
rap.
basically a poet.
His rap, his style is different.
It's way different. The lyrics are
and like
crazy.
He found what fit with his mind.
And the Ghetto Boys.
Yeah, that was my shit, bro. I don't know if you know, but like that's the first album or first cassette that I ever bought myself. Mm-hmm. Or I don't even know if I was allowed to buy it, but I had I had a Ghetto Boys cassette, and that was what I picked. Like that was my music. My dad didn't tell me to get it. You know what I mean? Like this was my music. It was like my thing.
That's awesome.
Like my sister didn't, like she listened to rock, and I was like, this is me. And some white dude from Louisville, Kentucky, as a little kid listening to Ghetto Boys.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Like that shit raised me. Some people probably laugh at that statement, but
yeah, you probably can't even tell by looking at it.
Dude, you have no idea. Like I personally didn't have a father. My mom did the best she could, but all I really had was like hip-hop music and skating.
And I had everything.
And the NES.
I had a whole great family, everything. It still did it.
And I loved Scarface.
Yeah.
I loved Ghetto Boys. In 1991, the Ghetto Boys released an album called We Can't Be Stopped. And it had an iconic photo that's a real photo of them in an emergency room pushing Bushwick Bill on a damn stretcher after he got his eye injured and he's talking on a big ass phone. Like that's a real picture. That's amazing.
Bushwick Bill, bro.
I don't know who was there and took the picture, but they took the picture and the shit was amazing. But anyway, Scarface, he deserves everything he's getting right now because the man single-handedly put the South on the map. He is back in the day, hip hop only existed on the East Coast and the West Coast, but mainly the East Coast. And Scarface came up out of Houston, Texas. The Ghetto Boys came up out of Houston, Texas, and put the South on the map. Like they're the true. He and the Ghetto Boys are the true pioneers of Southern hip hop, way before anyone else. And another thing about Scarface, the music, not just him, the instrumentation in his music. I'm talking real bass lines, real guitars, live drums. And he has a production partner that is iconic. His name is Mike Dean. This dude is incredible. A lot of people know who he is. Him and Scarface are single-handedly responsible for the sound that came out of Rap-A-Lot Records. Devin the Dude sound.
Yep. Like
this sound. And if you listen to it, it's like a soul hip-hop. It's like soul hip-hop funk. Like just the wildest synth sounds and guitar sounds and bass sounds, but they do it so well that it sounds like just a dope ass rap beat. But man, if you really just listen to the music, god damn, it's good.
Yeah, are those people that he was on Tiny Desk with? Some of the indie.
Yeah. The white guy that's playing keys with him is Mike Dean.
That's what I thought.
That's his production partner. Yeah. He did all that shit.
That's so cool that they're still playing music.
They're
together.
still friends, dude, and they still do it.
That guy was killing it.
That dude is amazing. One of my favorite songs of all time is Never Seen a Man Cry, by Scarface. Listen to the instrumental on that. Listen to the instrumental on Mary Jane. They're just amazing, man. It's just good shit.
It is good music.
So I'm glad Scarface is finally getting his flowers, getting his recognition. Scarface has been a legend. He's been in the top 10. Some would argue even more than that. But what about a good Pizza Hut in the 80s and early 90s?
I think I was talking to it with somebody at work and was like, because we were talking about pizza joints. Mm-hmm. It's like, and I was like, dude, Pizza Hut back then was like a event. It
was the standard.
Like when you got to go there,
when you got to
family,
go into
inside.
a Pizza.
Which back then it was more. That's more what it was catered to.
It was
like delivery was like something rare.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you got to go inside a fucking Pizza Hut as a kid, like you felt like it was like little Disney World. You know what I mean? Like I get to go. We going in.
Yeah,
I get the red cup.
Get the red cup. I was about to say you get that red cup, boy. The pop hits different in the red cup.
Oh my god! When you was a kid drinking that Coca-Cola, and you get a fucking sit down and play Pac-Man at the
sit down Pac-Man, the claw machines.
Oh my, anything, whatever they had arcades there, like, and just the look of it, the inside,
the Pizza Hut lights,
the lights were a different color.
The Pizza Hut like stained glass lights.
Everybody knows.
Yeah,
you said that and it popped up in everybody's head.
Iconic.
Yeah, and like just the whole environment and
I can smell it,
bro. The food,
they all look the same too.
Like you can go get Pizza Hut right now and it ain't.
That ain't Pizza Hut.
I mean, but it ain't bad. Like we're not shitting on Pizza Hut, but it ain't that. Like which also most restaurants aren't what they are. You know.
Yeah, and over time it changes because everybody gets greedy
and this shit gets more streamlined and spread out. Now there's a billion of them, but back when we were kids, if you went to Pizza Hut, it was fire.
Yeah, it was an experience,
bro. You got that personal pan. You know what I mean, bro?
Hell yeah!
Like God, bro, it was so, and I don't know what. It's just it spoke to that culture in the 80s.
It spoke to as children. This
simpler time.
We say everything was our childhood, but what Pizza Hut was the food of our childhood.
It really was.
You know what I'm saying? And they did some dope promotions too.
Yeah.
Like Pizza Hut always was had some dope commercials. Who remembers that Pizza Hut gave away the mini basketballs for the NCAA Final Four? It would have like the logo of the Final Four on the ball. Sometimes they would have the teams on them.
Yep.
Specifically, I remember in 1991, if you did a pizza delivery, they'd bring the ball. It was the shit. Yeah. I have to get one of them for sure. But they also
I'm sure you can.
Yeah, it's on eBay. I saw one. I was going to get one before we talked about it. I loved it so much. They're so cool. They're available on eBay. You better believe I'm going to get one.
And you know what else about Pizza Hut? They were the first to like be with the turtles.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, like they clung on to the Ninja Turtles real quick.
Real fast.
Because if you watch anything about Ninja Turtles, it's always Pizza Hut pizza.
Yep.
I remember in the game,
Yep.
that was their first advertisement ever in a game, a real company, was Pizza Hut.
On Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, they're walking past these signs on this wall, and it's Pizza Hut. And then the signs fall, and these ninjas jump out and start fighting you.
Like, what a good name, too, dog.
What?
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Pizza Hut. It meant so much back then. You walk in, I can smell it right now. It's
the hut.
Just walking into that building, I can smell it.
Yeah.
Right now. Too bad it's not like that anymore.
No. Hey,
there is one out there
That's
somewhere.
what I was saying. I have heard that there are some Pizza Huts that went back to that look and that feel. And me and Tuck want to fuck with them.
You would just sit down in there and just chill.
We want to go and get into that world of that Pizza Hut.
So, hey, if you know where that Pizza Hut's at or
let
one
us
just like
go,
it,
man. But yeah.
Holler at us.
Yeah. So who remembers how cool Pizza Hut used to be?
Hell yeah. All right, so I did a story on our TikTok. I posted a TikTok story asking listeners and followers, what they wanted us to talk about because we were going to be doing the podcast tonight. So
I read a bunch.
Let's see if there's anything worth talking about. I'm just going to go through a bunch. Masters of the Universe, 90 shoe topics.
Didn't I see a couple of people say hustle or thrashing?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. How weird is that?
It is pretty weird. Gaming and life without using the internet. Only having magazines and your friends to help you navigate through the games, which I felt like we've talked about.
That's literally the most talked about thing on our podcast.
What's that?
How fucking hard it was in that world. That people don't like now. You can just fucking like we do it today. Like if I ever have a problem on anything,
for sure,
literally anything,
not just gaming.
No, yeah, my buddy fixes cars. Looking on the internet.
I've changed my fuel pump.
That's what
I've changed some wild shit on my cars by looking on the internet.
My buddy just fixed
YouTube.
his stove from YouTube.
Absolutely, man.
But back then, there was nothing, bro. You got stuck. You were stuck for weeks.
That's the thing about the internet, dude. The age of sharing information.
Yeah, that's why we're in the future.
Yeah, this is the beginning of what's going to happen. Like, there's no limits to what can happen now. Because let's go back to 1992. If you wanted to know the population of France, well, you're fucked unless you have an encyclopedia.
Bro, I had those on point, bro. Like I had a whole back little area where I kept my Encyclopedia Britannicas, and like that was the internet to me.
The encyclopedia was your internet before the internet.
Yeah,
straight up.
And if it wasn't in there, you're fucked.
I'll wake up in the middle of the night and hit Google with the most random shit.
Oh my god, dude.
Like, what is the biggest country as far as square mileage is concerned? Shut your ass up.
See
the internet.
Hey, they're listening now. Back then, but back when we were talking, the guys talking about, there was not a goddamn thing in that encyclopedia about video games.
No fucking way.
That didn't exist.
No.
So if you didn't have Nintendo Power or some other kind of fucking booklet, you're screwed.
That was Lucas TA that said that. Let's see what else we got.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. There's so many. Best breakfast cereals for watching Saturday morning cartoons.
Bro, we got that's on deck.
Yeah, we got a whole thing about
Saturday morning, Sunday morning.
I don't know.
Oh my
favorite
God.
cereal though? What's your favorite cereal back in the day?
I say back in the day,
Captain Crunch, fuck your mouth up.
Oh, bro, it makes your shit sting.
Fruity Pebbles. I liked it when they get real soggy.
Soggy as hell, and
soggier the better.
Hey, and that made that milk fire.
Oh, absolutely.
But mine probably back in the day, I would just probably go with Lucky Charms.
Oh, Lucky Charms was fire. Yeah. Lucky Charms was fire.
And you try to save all the marshmallows.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Or eat it dry and just eat the marshmallows.
Oh yeah, but I would eat all the other ones first, so I'd have just a shit ton of marshmallows left.
Oh yeah.
And then just fire.
Boom, bam, fire down the
But
hole.
no, honestly, back growing up in the 80s, I'm pretty sure we tried every fucking cereal.
Mm-hmm.
Name them. Frosted Flakes, fucking Twix, fucking.
And I don't know if it's just now that, with my family we eat healthier, But I feel like cereal isn't as
They lied to us.
it's not a thing nowadays like it used to be.
Bro, they lied.
What do you mean?
That's not good for you.
Oh,
We thought that's.
Yeah.
I thought growing up that's what you should eat.
I thought that was just a good breakfast.
Like if you woke up every single morning of your fucking childhood and ate cereal, your mom and dad would say nothing.
Nothing. Now there's no fucking way.
No, bro.
Like my kids ate cereal today as like a treat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they
back
had
then,
cereal
it
today,
was
and it's like healthy cereal.
Every day.
Every
Or if like my grandma cooked eggs and biscuits and gravy. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But then other than that, I'm eating cereal in front of my TV watching cartoons.
Remember Apple Jacks?
Apple Jacks.
Look, snap, crackle, and pop.
What was the one? I said
What's
Twix.
the-
It's not Twix. It's, what is it? Trix or something?
Yeah, tricks are for kids.
Yeah, Tricks are for kids.
Yeah, the little
Yeah,
different colored balls.
Apple Jacks. Well, there's so many, bro. Frosted mini wheats.
Yep.
I used to crush
Fire.
those. Fire.
Wheaties.
Bro,
Trash.
I'm so old that I ate mini wheats before they had frost on them.
Damn.
You know what I
just
mean?
had mini wheats.
They were mini wheats and they were terrible. Do you remember this? When you're a kid, I would eat cereal that had sugar in it and then put sugar
in
on
it.
top of it.
1000%.
Bro, it was Rice Krispie treats or Rice Krispies
Rice
cereal.
Krispies.
I would put so much sugar in it that when I got to the bottom
Yeah.
of I drink the milk, my bowl had a fucking reservoir. Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
It might be where. It might be right. But it was full of sugar at the bottom. Like a fucking sea that had salt at the bottom.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was just sugar.
I would do that on cornflakes.
And don't think I didn't scoop it up with my spoon and eat it.
Oh, God.
Like we put sugar on sugar
For sure.
and we drank it. And then and with milk, like bro, I grew up and didn't know why my stomach hurt my entire life. I couldn't even drink milk.
Yeah.
Like I don't drink milk now for
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
But back then, milk every day. My stomach hurts. I wonder why.
Remember Cocoa Krispies?
Oh yeah, they
Dude,
were
it was-
fire.
What's the ones?
Because they got your milk a
What's the
little
one
chocolate,
with
bro.
the little like the frogs on the cover, and it's like the
Oh, Apple Jacks.
No.
No. Sugar Crisp. Nope. I know what you're talking about.
I gotta look it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Honey Smacks.
Honey Smacks.
Dude, those were so
Fire,
good.
bro.
Ah, I can taste it right now.
Honestly, bro, like name one. Like,
Cheerios.
they're not sugar all over them.
Yep.
Sugar all over them, bro.
Honey Smacks. Tricks. Oh, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh my god, when they came out,
Fire.
Who in the fuck? And that certain cereal that was fire made the milk taste amazing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's like Lucky Charms. Did that
and
too.
the Cocoa Crisp or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, it was chocolate milk, bro.
Kicks.
Yep.
Remember Kicks? Hell yeah. Fruit Loops.
Oh, Fruit Loops are still fire.
Damn. Raisin Bran.
Put sugar all over them.
Corn Flakes.
Sugar all over them.
Reese's Puffs.
Yep.
Cookie Crisp.
Yep.
Remember those little cookies?
Mhm.
Ah, fire.
Dude, cereal was, to me, that comment, that cereal was a part of my 80s and 90s.
Mr. T cereal.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Remember
If
that?
you got big enough, you had your own cereal,
Yeah.
and that was probably trash.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? If you were some guy or some kind of thing that got popular, like A-Team cereal, like it sucked. You know what I mean?
A-Team cereal.
But I would sit there on my fucking, which I also collect now, the TV trays, and you'd sit that TV tray and put your cereal right there
Boom.
and just be like,
Boom.
G.I. Joe's.
For sure. Let's shout him out. That was a good topic.
Yeah,
That was a
man,
good
God,
comment.
dude.
His name was Tony
The Tiger.
Keown, or how you say Keown.
It's Tony the
Hey,
Tiger.
Tony K, man.
Tony the Tiger.
Tony the K, good topic. Let's do one more.
Great.
All right, so we picked a couple off there. We'll go back through them and definitely work some of that into our next show. We appreciate y'all commenting on the stuff and
We got a
interacting
cool list
with us.
going.
Yeah, we got some bang. I can't wait to get to editing these, Will.
Oh, man. I like just looking at the list and being like, God damn, it's a lot.
Yep.
Also, we forgot to, we should probably get some pencil break going soon.
I wanted to do pencil breaks so bad. We just got to get pencils.
Number
Me
two.
and you have to play.
Oh, yeah, number 2.
Remember, you get the real thick, the real round ones.
Yep.
That
Oh
were
my
like
God.
slick.
That's cheating.
Yeah.
You remember bracing?
Yeah.
Like, that was a thing.
Let's just wait and do it on
Yeah.
the show.
Like, you cheating, bro.
That's the show, y'all. Thanks for watching, listening, wherever you're consuming what we're doing. Wherever you're consuming what we're doing.
I see he's a musician.
Follow the TikTok.
Instagram's growing.
Follow the Instagram. Follow the YouTube. If you want to watch the whole show, from beginning to end.
Without all the edits. I know they be bitching about our edits.
Yep. Just go on YouTube, turn it on your TV and watch it. Turn it on your phone, watch it. Turn it on in the background, whatever you want to do.
Because we talk about a lot, but we break it down for the...
Yeah, for the TikTok and
for the
social
reels.
media. And then, the audio version is available on Spotify and on Apple Podcast. That's it, guys. We really appreciate it. Like I said, man, give us ideas. We love the ideas. Don't worry, we have a large list of ideas.
Yeah, but you guys, the listeners, the community that we've grown to love, have lived the same kind of life we have.
Right.
So we forget shit too. So
it's fun to interact with you guys.
Yeah, and like I'm saying, like, you know how we like remind you of some nostalgic thing? Do that to us, man.
For
There's
sure.
shit we don't know.
Looking through those comments, I saw a few things that were like, oh, shit.
Yeah. I love when I hear something and I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah. You know what we need to talk more about next time? Let's figure out some toys.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was saying. My buddy at work told me a toy. He was like, did you ever have this? And I was like, oh, my God, I did play with that.
Yeah, there's been a couple that I've seen recently that are like, I didn't even realize that I played with.
That's what I'm saying. It's so crazy that the things have just disappeared.
From your memory, because you just don't have the
It's
mental...
too much. We're too old.
You don't... That's right.
I got no room.
But
yeah, man, and be on the lookout for some live video games.
Oh yeah,
playing.
we're gonna be doing some TikTok live here real soon. We're still working out the kinks. We don't all the way know what we're doing.
We just like fucking playing and you guys watching and talking shit about us. That's fun to us.
For sure. All right, that's all we got.
Another episode.
Peace.